Been a tough week, Matt?
It's been a busy week. Yep. We're ready to go though.
When did you first learn about what had happened on Saturday night?
Sunday. Yeah, so Sunday found out and we began working our way through.
Remember your reaction when the Taylor Walker situation came out? You were pretty annoyed. What was your reaction this time around?
I think the first spot I went to was support. Just how do we support, everyone, not just Isaac. It's about everyone. Who's been affected and who needs support around them, and so that's where my mind went straight away. And that's what the weeks looked like from my point of view, is just being there for whoever needed me there, because people are affected in different ways with incidents like this. So it's part of what we do.
Have you spoken to Isaac much? Have you been in communication with him?
Yes.
How is it? I guess Tim kind of spoke yesterday about he was quite concerned for his mental well-being. Do you share those concerns? How's Isaac kind of react?
I think Isaac's got some great support around him, and I think the fact that he's, the detail that's gone through, he's acknowledged where he went wrong, and he's worked his way through that in the right manner. He understands that we've got to be better in that space, but it is he's not the victim in this, and by no means do we want that to be looked at that way, and he knows that. But it's been quite a tough period for him.
Are you disappointed in him as a coach? I guess not only for he gets the ban, but putting himself, the club, in this situation.
No, it's moments like this where you look at your culture and what it is you're building, and you know that you've still got work to do. That we aim for perfection, but we understand it's pretty tough to get there. But there's a lot of things that we're doing right, and I hope you guys feel that when you come into this place. You can see there's things we're doing right, but this just shows we've still got work to do, that we need to be better.
Have you addressed that work with the playing group then?
We constantly address that. We constantly talk about our values and how it is we behave, and the importance of role modelling. And there are a lot of young and older people in South Australia, especially that look up to our group and our people, and we understand that responsibility.
Can you appreciate that some LGBTQI groups will look at the athlete and the handling, and you mentioned that you're not only concerned for Isaac's well-being, but also he's not the victim here, it's out in the community, but the way that this might transpire in the community doesn't necessarily eventuate to that. Can you appreciate that they might be looking at this going, well, it's very one-sided, we need to protect Isaac, when others in the community might, especially in the footy community, might feel just as harmed?
Of course. I mean, that's what I tried to get across, and it's hard to portray that, but that's what I'm saying about getting around those who need support. And the understanding is that there are a lot of people, there may be a lot of people that are doing it tough. And so I don't know who those people are. The only thing we can do as a footy club is get around all of our people, and ask questions. How are you, and how has it affected you? And that's, again, we believe we've got a strong culture, but we know we need to keep working on it.
Have you spoken to the AFLW group, or will you speak to the Rainbow Crows audit group?
I haven't personally as yet, but there's an intent there to reach out. And we have Chelsea Randall works within our men's football department, and so the ability to sit down and just make sure Chelsea's okay, and talk to our other staff around how's this affected you. And everyone's affected differently, so we'll continue to work through that.
These guys do a lot of education, and only a month ago we see the Rio Andrew and Jack Graham. So was there not a discussion after those incidents? I know perfection is very hard to achieve, but still, what happened after those incidents within the club?
Yeah, and this is where I think this has been spoken about. No one's making excuses. No one is arguing that there shouldn't have been a penalty. We know we have to be better in that space, and we are educated around that. staff, players, everyone within the football club is educated around what it is we're trying to change in society. We didn't get it right on this occasion. We'll continue to educate.
Do you understand why some, particularly the queer community, feel as though that the club has spent the week arguing though, and has spent the week making excuses?
Yeah, I mean, I can't comment around how it plays through in the media and how it's portrayed. All I can say is we've been doing what we can to get around those people that need support. And I'll leave it at that.
Has the approach been different from with the Taylor place? I know it's a different kind of situation, but with Taylor 4 years ago, you kind of accepted the penalty, you know, accepted what was given to you in this situation. You tried to argue ban down to 4 games.
I'm not going to talk through any more detail on it, so I'm not going to dive into the detail because that's not right for me to do that. One, I wasn't involved in the submission and in the whole process of the detail, so I'm not going to go into any further detail. I reckon we've answered enough. So if you want to talk some footy, because I guess the part from now is I'm locked in on what are we doing Saturday. We've had a week where we've worked our way through this. You're going to keep asking me the same question.
How does this change your mindset then heading into this final round and the potential next 4 weeks?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, I've now got to lock in and get our group focused on what we do tomorrow. To our group's credit, they've had a really strong week, and focused themselves on what they can impact, and that's the way we play footy this weekend. And we're in a unique position. We've got an opportunity where we've done a lot of work right throughout the year and through past years to get ourselves in this position, and so now we'll focus right in on that. And that's where I'd appreciate us having a chat now about footy.
If things don't play out the way that you would like them this weekend, could this be seen as a distraction then? Would this be an excuse for a distraction if not?
No, one of the things we've done so well this year is not look back and not look forward. We've lived in the moment and we've played every moment as it comes, and it'll be a challenge for us to get that right tomorrow. And we're coming off 2 wins where we've been a little bit off our best, and so great sign to be able to win. But our guys are really focused, and we're looking forward to this game, and we want to bring our best footy, and we want to hit a final series with good momentum.
You can't sense on Isaac. Where to from here now? Tim said yesterday he might get out of Adelaide for a few days, but clearly he's got to get back to training. So how are you going to manage that?
Yeah, well, that'll be the balance. It'll be Isaac probably spending a little bit of time away from the club to I guess re-energise himself. Our players will get a break. When I say break, they'll re-energise next week, as will the whole league. But I know for a fact Isaac wants to be around the group as soon as he possibly can, but also I think some time away will help him as well.
You said on Wednesday that this wasn't a distraction, but for yourself, you've just detailed how busy you've been and all the stakeholders you've had to address. So has it taken you away from the football focus at all? And if not, how has it not, given what you just spoken about?
No, that's the job I'm in. That's ongoing. That's every week. This is got some profile around it, which is a little higher that you guys want to talk to. But every week it's dealing with people and making sure people are in the right headspace, and not just players but staff, keeping ourselves on task. And so that's part of my role and my job.
Last couple of minutes.
Just on field then, how do you replace Isaac in obviously
Yeah.
changes, but how do you feel that will mid-roll?
Well, we've got, it's next man up. It's, we've got guys we believe can play a role for us ahead of the ball. It's always going to look a little bit different. Doesn't matter which player you don't have access to. It's always going to change slightly, but we're confident in the 23 that we'll take across that we'll have guys who'll step up into that role.
Josh looks like he's tracking pretty well. Do you think he's on course for that qualifying final?
Yeah, I actually just caught him post the session, so he ran for the first time today, which was great. He feels really good. We're going to have to just temper him a little, but he's progressing really well. Max Michelini had a great session out there today. Had a chat to him. He feels fantastic. He wants to play now, but there's still a little bit more we've got to work through there. Luke Pedler, another one who's, we hope, touch wood, everything sort of continues to progress the way it is, that he may be available for that first final. So there's some good signs there from guys that haven't been available the last week or two, but that might be available for us in a few weeks.
I think Clark's a superstar, but if you had to replace him, is Josh about as close as you could get?
Yeah, they're similar players.
Can I ask about Sid? Just one about Sid, is that possible? Yeah. So, having played since round 12, it seemed like maybe it was a bit like Dan Curtin last year, getting him ready for next year, whatever. But you bring him back in now. Are you concerned that you're a little bit short in the midfield? Is it about getting a game into him now and your Billy Dowling, because you might actually need them in September, given now you've lost Matt Crouch indefinitely?
There's a lot of reasons why Sid's come in. One, we like his form and the way he's developing. I like the way you compared him to Dan Curtin, because if we see that sort of development, we'll be really pleased. He's a young midfielder who's just starting his career out. We would love to have got him in a little more this year. We had a group that were performing really well, and he was also working on some areas. This is a great opportunity for him. And Billy Dowling will also play this week. Great opportunity for both those guys to show what they've got as we go into a final series.